I am the summit host, and I'm here this morning because I wanted to share with you a thoughtful, thorough presentation with you. And then this afternoon, after our midday break, we'll have more speakers bringing in great content for you. And you're going to, really appreciate it. Whether you hear it today or you hear it at some time in the future, it will be possible for you to get access to it. I also want to share that for the first 2 days of the summit, the access to the individual and all the recordings from all of our speakers, and they've been amazing, that's been a VIP upgrade for $47. And today that bumps up to $67. Be first in the pipeline to get the resources, which are really quite wonderful. We have over $3,000 in value for free gifts from the community of our presenters, so that's very exciting. Secondly, I would like to reiterate that the focus of this summit is burn survivors. And it's obviously a question out there, like, why would you be organizing a summit for burn survivors? You're not a burn survivor. And one of the things that can happen in the United States, maybe it's true in other places around the world, is that things get siloed, especially things that are uncomfortable to deal with. And one of the things that I know from having done active work on burn wards, side by side, working with physicians and doing energy work, which I really would love for you to understand the value of it, and perhaps you will after the presentation that I'm going to share with you. But when somebody's been catastrophically burned, the process of survival is, I think, really one of the most challenging that a human being can go through. And I do mean, in many ways, it can be more challenging than getting through the process of treatment for cancer. Not all cancers are the same, and some of them are truly horrific. But the burn survivor is walking around among us. They are living. They have a life. They may have diminished eyesight. They may have diminished hearing. They may have compromised immune systems because the depth of the burn, if it goes down enough layers of the skin, destroys the lymphatic system. And energetically speaking, it destroys the meridians, the energy meridians that run through the skin and are in the skin, which is why acupuncture is so helpful. So I wanted to say we are, all of us, one way or another, in a survivor dynamic. Some of that is physical, no fault of our own, accidental, car crash, plane crash, whatever. We just happen to be in the wrong place at a particular time. And in those instances, I believe there's also a necessary process of forgiveness that has to happen. And that's why it's good not to silo these issues. And burn survivors have their own extraordinary survivor dynamics that may involve having to forgive a family member, may involve needing to forgive themselves for playing around with firecrackers, who knows, not being aware of danger because they didn't know what they didn't know. So one of the things that's really important for me about this summit is bringing this issue out of its silo, because somebody looks different isn't a reason for them not to be seen, not to be valued, not to have every opportunity to decide how far they are willing to develop a champion's heart as part of their process of their survivor dynamic. So to do this summit is in no way an attempt to grab an issue, to highlight an issue for my own benefit, or for the benefit of unseen characters that are, could be possibly lurking in the background. There aren't any. Another really important part of the survivor dynamic with a burn survivor is with young children, when they look that different and you show up in a classroom in a public school, you're going to be the object of difficult attention. And so I would like to consider that if you're an educator, if you're a teacher, you're a pastor, being able to sit down and feel into how do you see that person that's sitting before you that's in a lot of pain, therapists that may be coming to you to help them choose to continue to live. Can you see past skin deep? So that's another purpose for this summit. And it is the first one. There will be others, because it's my understanding that we can find our way out of our survivor dynamics, and we can find a life that is fulfilling beyond our unique situation of trauma. And we know that trauma has a lot of big buckets that people get tossed into and siloed into. And one of the ways that we can evolve out of the state of separation that is so prevalent in our world is to come together in community, unsilo these dynamics. Why do we have to have special categories for differently abled people? Why isn't that just, here you are, how can we, as a society, as a community, be part of you co-creating the best life that you choose for yourself, that you're capable of? And yes, your limitations may be very real, but does that mean you shouldn't have a fulfilling life? I deeply in my soul believe, oh gosh, I'm going to cry now. It's very emotional for me. Every human being who survives birth has in their DNA the coding for their reason for being born. And all of us need to experience that and give it life. That's what our bodies are for. Excuse me, I didn't know that was going to happen. So, welcome. Thank you for being here whenever you see this. I want to thank my partners who've helped make this possible. David Foyle, who's been our tech jockeys behind the scenes, making sure the technology runs smoothly. I also want to thank my amazing co-host, Paige Spears, Champion Heart. And I want to thank our invisible partner, Steve Erickson and his family of Event Raptor, because just making that platform available this is great for me, having a place to park my mission. So thanks, Steve. Thanks to your family. And of course, I really have to just give a warm hug and a heartfelt thank you of gratitude for every speaker who's chosen to show up for this. They are, many of them, wounded warriors. And their genetics, their DNA has unfolded in such a way is that they have found their purpose in life. They have found their reason for being born. And they're bringing that to this summit.